Life is good 13. 13 love to y'all. You are creation 13. Um, Today I want to talk to you about some stuff that's come on my path in terms of um, becoming more aware of how you are in control. I've talked about this in quite a few videos about, becoming aware you're in control of your reality. And nothing really controls you unless if you allow it to control you. I've talked to quite a few people that are experiencing someone else controlling them, someone else controlling their reality, and this can be affected in a lot of ways, and it can be affected by inner demons, in terms of something may have happened in your perceived past. It can also happen because of past lives, whether it's Earth past life or another planet past life. Um, it can also be affected by physical, either physical beings, ET beings. It can be psychically, psychic attacks from ET beings, or any kind of being for that matter. Psychic attacks. Um, you can be a very powerful being. You can even be a human and have very powerful psychic abilities that can trigger people who um, aren't willing to raise the vibrations or the light frequencies, or don't know how. So they can be attacked that way. And with psychic attacks, you have to really be aware of um, the imagery that is behind the psychic ability. Because psychic attacks are actually the most common attacks that humanity faces right now. Because I was watching, when I was on vacation, I was watching a sci-fi, I think it's a show, about people and their um, abduction stories, right? And I was observing these, and I've always been interested in the X Files, stuff like that when I was younger. So I always had interest in this, but never really got the whole concept. I always looked at it as a physical um, perception. But when you learn more and become awakened, you learn more and more that we're more linked psychically than anything else. So a lot of these abduction things are um, psychic corruptions. And it gave me a lot of different perspectives, because they're like, well, what about all the marks and um, surgeries and stuff these people had? Well, that can be caused by underground bases taking you. Okay, so that is a form of abduction, um, from a physical standpoint, not from an ET standpoint, because you got to realize that a lot of the ET beings that are physical are lower vibrational beings, because a higher vibrational ET cannot live in this dense reality unless if you're able to raise the vibrations extremely high. Then you can make contact, but most of the contacts are psychically linked. This is why you can view yourself in a ship, talking to beings that are way beyond. I mean, I've talked with beings um, that are Laren. I've talked to beings that are just pure rainbow color. Um, uh, Beings that don't have no figure at all. It's just sound vibrations. I've talked with a lot of different beings, but they weren't really a physical presence. It was a psychic presence. So, like I said, just because a being gives you a physical form doesn't necessarily mean that that's their form. Um, So that's where, from my personal experience, I learned that everything is a psychic link. It's not a physical link, it is a psychic link. So with these abduction things, it's psychic manipulation. Um, can it is a controlled psychic projection, and because people don't understand how psychic links work, it's misconsumed that it is real and it really happened, when it's just really just blind psychic manipulation. And these beings are, you know, they're smart in that field. Like I talked about in some of my previous videos about, all the ET beings, the lower realm ET beings that live here, live underground. So there's tons of underground bases. They're linked up to psychic links, like on X-Men, with Professor Xavier, how he links up with what is it called? Cerebro. How he links up with Cerebro. They got beings that do that all the time, um, trying to control humanity on a psychic link level. That's why things are. That's why things were jacked up before, but things are changing drastically. And I'll talk more about that because it has to do with the multi-layer things. But their control is pretty much gone. It really is. It's really dense, and it's almost gone. So no worries there. But you just have to be aware of these psychic links, because I've had some friends that have had these psychic attacks and they don't know how to handle it. Because it is a psychic link. So the best advice that I can give you if you're having these psychic attacks is you have to become aware of their psychic attacks, and you have to become aware that you need to have the willpower and strength to be willing to fix the problem. You need to look at the ways to fix the problem, not become a victim, but to fix the problem. And this is where a positive viewpoint comes into play. Saying, like I always say, life is good 13, life is good 13. It don't matter what comes on my day, because we will always go through tests and we will always go through challenges. It's how you handle the tests and challenges that affects your reality, and what you feed to the universe. So no matter what happens to me, I always say life is good 13, because life is good. It is. And you keep letting that light shine. And you also have to verbally speak about your experiences. And that's another key thing. I've talked about this also in previous videos, is talk about your experiences, whether it is positive or negative. And if you talk about a negative experience, what are you doing to fix that experience? Because if you don't have a plan to fix that negative experience, you're going to keep feeding that to the universe until you choose and decide to fix and change that scenario. And this is one of the hardest things that humanity um, has not learned, is learning to fix a problem or get out of a problem. Because you can't fix everybody, but you can fix yourself. Like, say if you're in an abusive relationship, you have the opportunity to leave. But some people use fear-based tactics, or they'll allow their mind to consume them and say, well, I ain't gonna find anybody better, or something like that. Something holds them. They stay attached, and they still stay in that lower state, without realizing just how beautiful they are. People who are out of shape and don't eat right, uh, they lower themselves. They're like, oh well, I ate a salad today, but yet they go and still drink pop and eat other junk food, and there's no balance in it. It's you have to have a structure. You have to think. You have to think. A lot of people's excuses that I notice is, I know I'm getting off track here, but it as a whole, it's all connected. But you know, you have to constantly motivate and move yourself. People get such in a relaxed, lazy state that they don't realize that they're doing more harm to themselves than good. You have to constantly move. You can't just relax. The only time you can relax is if you've accomplished your goals, you're on track with what you want to do, and you can actually take a deep breath and say, yes, I'm doing good. This is my time to myself for my accomplishments, and enjoy the relaxation. But become aware that you're going to have to go back to work. It's not just relaxation, 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 work, relaxation. It's work, 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 relaxation, work, 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 relaxation. Just like myself, I work 40 hours a week, 5 days, in a 5 day weekly period. I only get 2 days off. So it's work, work, work. And when I get off work, I'm still working because I still have to do my energetic work, helping others out on their path, and also taking care of my family as well because I got kids and stuff. So I got to also take care of that. So it's nonstop, but you don't give up, and you don't just say I need time to myself. You do what you need to do, and then when your guides or whatever say, okay, you need to take a break, and then you take a break, because you can burn yourself out. I burned myself out so many times because I'm just wanting to see progress, and you have to become aware that things take time, but things are manifesting faster. So it's a relief for me now because I'm actually being able to see change just like that. Compared to before, it was like just slow, slow, slow. It's now happening faster, so it's making my job easier. and a lot of people have really noticed that everything is speeding up, and it's only going to get a lot faster. And I'll talk about that more later. But yeah, just realize that you have to keep going. You have to keep motivating yourself, moving yourself. Realize that this experience is your experience. Take care of yourself, and look at all points of views on how to make your life better and more peaceful. You have to work at your goal. You're not going to get buff, or you're not going to get muscles if you don't do anything. You're not going to lose weight if you don't do anything. People are like, well, if I would take this pill, I'll lose weight. That's just a lazy way out. It really is. So, anyways, I'll go ahead and talk about the psychic thing because that was the main thing I was talking about. But yeah, if you get psychic attacks, one of the key things is to always say, let's see if I say it right. Those who exist in the highest order of light can only stay in my presence. Those who exist in the highest order of light um, can stay in my presence. Those who exist in the highest order of light can stay in my presence. You can say that 4 or 5 times, or how many times you want to say it. Say that daily, so you get that higher vibrational beings surrounding you. Get those angels surrounding you. Learn how to work with your guides and your team. Just like I talked about on my vacation video. Use your team and help them manifest and create your reality. Just because you can't see them doesn't make them. It's not making a difference. It is, especially when your third eye opens. You see a whole different reality, a whole bigger picture, than what you see with these eyes. So you have to learn to work in a higher state of being, a higher state of consciousness. Work with your guides. You call them angels, whatever. Use Archangel Michael to help protect you, and realize that these are energy. Okay, you can view them as a physical being if you want, but they are energies, and those energies are there to be used, based upon your will and intent. So, use Archangel Michael to protect you. Use uh, Alright, I think the video kind of messed up. But use Archangel Michael to protect you. Um, use Raphael to heal you. And then, use some of the other angels as well. Those are the two main ones I use, is Michael and Raphael. Those are two main ones I use if I need assistance. But I usually mainly just use my other beings that help me along the way. And it'll make more sense as you further progress in your experience. But anyways, yeah, just be aware that you know you can change your reality, and you are in control always. These lower beings cannot take control over you unless you allow them to. And it's strictly based on emotions. So you have to conquer your emotions and look beyond the emotions as well. So emotional clearing is key as well. So emotional clearing, always look at the higher state of being. Um, get your light to rise, your vibration to rise, and work with the angels, work with your guides, work with the other beings that surround you all the time. They're just waiting for you to give them commands. You got big old bodyguards that are by your side all the time. You got little guys, you got medium-sized guys. You got tons of beings that you can work with that can help affect your reality and help get these lower realm beings out of your existence. And talking about your experiences with these beings is going to further progress your reality into and shape your reality into what you want to experience. Because when you share your experiences, you are sharing it to the universe, and the universe acknowledges what you're doing, and therefore it's manifesting in your reality more and more and more. And that's something you have to discover for yourself. So anyways, I think that's it. If you got any questions, let me know. Just learn to love yourself, take care of yourself. Work at your being. Learn that you can't just sit around. You got to work constantly. You got to work mentally, you got to work physically, emotionally. You got to constantly work. You never have a day off. If you think you have a day off, then you're being lazy. So yeah, so work, 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 work. When your guides say it's time for a break, take a break, and then just become aware that you got to go back to work, 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 work again. So anyways, that's it. Like I said, if you got any questions, let me know. I love you all very much. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Um, and take care of your psychic projections. Realize that the majority of your experiences are psychic projections. So yeah, so love you all very much. Namaste, Lakech, and talk to you in a little bit.